Hello guys, and welcome. Today we'll be looking at Belegar in Warhammer Total War 3. The reason for this stream is because a friend of mine has asked a question. He's recently gotten into the game and doesn't really understand the difference between Warhammer 3 and Warhammer 2. Obviously a lot of us do, but even if you're a veteran, this might help as well. So before we get into that though, let's get into the start video. So here we go. Okay guys, so going into Warhammer 3, obviously we are playing Belegar, and we will be doing our usual quite, I'd say, relatively hard difficulty. It's not like legendary like I would play if obviously we were playing off screen. So difference between Warhammer 2 and Warhammer 3, as a lot of us know, is the game itself has developed and changed rapidly. With this rapid change, you cannot play the factions the same way. Now this is due to many of reasons: game mechanics, new DLCs being coming in, other races. Now the predominant reason why this is, and especially for Belegar, what you have to do differently is you have to take out a new enemy, which is sort of far away from you, but if you let run riot can cause a huge problem. So let's just take a look at what these enemies are. We have the old enemy of obviously Icked Claw. We have the pirates that come down this way, and if you leave they will start taking over. You also have now the newfound Master of the Hunt, the Wood Elves. Now the Wood Elves shouldn't bother you too much as long as you play it sort of safe. The other power we have that will come up if unchecked is of course either Tomb Kings or Scarbrand, depending on which one wins the battle in your campaign of the, what I like to call, the Death Dome. So the main question is, you have the big penalty just here, 50% upkeep for units until basically you get Caracate Peak. So at some point you're gonna want to come over here. In doing so, you will meet most of the enemies. There is still Queek, there is Dwarfs, and now Chaos Dwarfs. Now, when it comes to Chaos Dwarfs and Dwarfs, the difference is absolutely massive. I don't want to admit it, as I am a huge fan of good. Chaos Dwarfs are much better than Dwarfs. They have magic, they have better cavalry, faster units. It's just a no-brainer, and I will put it to you this way as also, when Chaos Dwarfs get going, their snowball effect is ridiculous, and it doesn't matter if you get the endgame crisis of a grudge too far. Chaos Dwarfs at endgame will absolutely trample Dwarfs. But it's about Belegar this time. So yes, you can still beeline for Caracate Peaks, but I advise taking a slightly longer route first, and we will do it that way. Obviously, you can still leave an army behind and help out the humans if you wish, but to be honest, once you've got Caracate Peaks, it doesn't really matter too much what happens down here. You can literally sell up to either the Empire or the Wood Elves for the Alliance, depending on which way you want to go, or you can just decide to just fight everybody like I do. But again, it's up to you, but we'll get into it. First turn, it's entirely up to you whether you auto-resolve this or not. I'm going to do it just for the sake of the speed. Also, what I'd advise as well is taking on Queek, getting 5 battles out of him and getting that Rune of Spite, because it's going to help. Now we're going to take this for the replenishment, but bingo, straight away. Take the tribute. You'll be given an opportunity to confederate. So, let's take a look, shall we? Do we really want to confederate the dwarfs? Do we want to meet the wood elves? Do we want to meet the vampires straight from the word go? My answer to that is no, I don't. I will take the money. I am not interested in confederating you just yet. We will do that later. Right now, I have better things to do. We don't get the slayers yet, but that's not an issue. We are going to upgrade and get a bit more movement. Upgrade our heroes before I forget. Bit more movement. And we're also going to go with the defense. Now again, it's up to you how you do this. I don't mind which way you do it. If you're a defensive player, then go with your defensive buffs. If you're an offensive player, you probably don't want to be picking dwarfs. But it's up to you. There are ways you can play dwarfs offensively. We haven't got this because, as far as I'm aware, it still works that as long as you are more likely to get students, and dwarfs can get students, if you fight your battles, take your research off, than you will if you just try and do it without them. And we got a weapon as well, which is absolutely fine. Come on, out you go. What? Why doesn't he have the movement? That's fine. Either way, I'm going to push you up here because I want to see if these guys have got an army. No, they don't. I want to see if the rats are there. No, they're not. Okay, that's cool. Don't need to worry about Skarsnik anymore because he's all the way over there. Excellent. I'm not going to worry too much about that area there. It would be handy to get some quarrelers though, so we're going to press on. So, yes, normally first turn you can take that, and that's absolutely fine for the replenishment, but these guys are not going to be able to recruit that quickly, and I am trying to get as much money as possible because we're going to need quarrelers and some shields to deal with the ogres. Normally in Warhammer 3 I'd say let's go get some quarrelers, get whatever, and go to 8 peaks, but because we have to take on ogres and because infantry have taken on a much stronger role in Warhammer 3, it's time to slightly adjust our tactics. And so what we are going to do is we're going to play a much more balanced army than we normally would if we were playing Belegar and Warhammer 2. Warhammer 2, you could literally thump your way all the way to 8 peaks with quarrelers. Even on Legendary you could do that. Literally you could just bump your couple of slayers to get you through and then just shoot everything and it would absolutely be fine. But in Warhammer 3 the changes are a little bit different, so we have to play it a little bit differently. And of course let me know in the comments if you disagree. I'd love to hear it from you guys, what you guys think. Obviously it's all speculation at this point. It depends on each individual's play style how you do this, but for me, when I was asked about sort of my play style, I guess me and my friend have a sort of similar way of playing the game. This is why I'm doing this video. Hey, Sidro's here. At work, just popped in. Of course, I got a notification. Gonna leave a like. Oh, bless you. Massive shout out to Cedro and Grim. He's probably the only one out of Well, he's definitely one out of us two. Obviously, I have been away from YouTube. I've been doing up a house and working and doing other bits. But hopefully, I'll move my computer over so I'll still be able to come back and do live streams. But if you want to hit up some awesome content, give Cedro a definite shout and a look at, because he's very entertaining along with Grim, and he also plays different games like God of War, which, yeah, let's face it, who doesn't love a bit of God of War? That is very kind of you, my man. I appreciate that. Have a good day at work, and I will see you very, very soon. Keep up the awesome content. Okay, so this will be a field battle. We are going to fight this one manually because I don't really want to take any more... don't really want to take any more casualties because we are going to have to fight another battle next turn, and we are going to have to press ogres pretty damn harshly on this one. I am going to just get the Discord up, actually, or my Discord up, which of course all the links are at the bottom. Of course, if they are not there, I will put them in a little bit later. So if you're watching the videos, they should all be there. Head to my page. You should be able to see, obviously, Cedro and Grim's page on there. I do have to point out, though, that Grim streams on Twitch, not YouTube. He does upload his videos onto YouTube. So, obviously, we'll sort of go from there. I have... I have lots of messages on my Discord. Oh, there it is, yeah. Please, can you help me with Belegar? I'm not quite sure what to do. Warhammer 3 is a little bit different. Yes. Oh, yeah, it is. Oh, yeah, it is. Massively different. And if I can, what I will do is I will very quickly... show Grim and Cedro's hashtag, switching to that one, and it should come up on your screen now. There it is. I don't know whether you guys can see that there, but it's Grim and Cedro goes live. Really good. Currently playing elves at the moment, and obviously Cedro does play God of War with his other half, as I understand it. But not always. I think sometimes it's him, sometimes it's both of them. It depends on, I guess, whether she's available or not. There we go, we'll pop that back up there. And we'll move this to the other screen so you guys don't see it, because you guys don't really want my Discord coming up and blocking your vision. And of course I will just quickly show you mine as well. Here you go, the Viking Nez way of gaming, that is mine up there as well. Moving on. Oh, I need a better computer. Much better computer. With any luck, I haven't now crashed my game, because I haven't actually been playing this for ages, but obviously, unless they dramatically change the game, it's still going to play the same whether you have a year out or whatever. Alright, let's do this. Archers at the front. Heroes at the front. That dramatically zoomed in then. Okay. Cool. Gonna put these guys in sort of reserve. These guys can go here. They can go there. Boom. Gonna try and leave the heroes on the old flank. Gonna move these guys up so they don't get hammered by these guys. Nice little box formation. Gonna get the Thayans in there to charge in. Gonna give him a little boost. And of course we're gonna smack these goblins for as much damage as we possibly can in 2, 1, boom. Oh, what a lovely spell that was. That is a great spell. Lovely jubbly. They're doing pretty well. And we'll get these guys to shoot as well. Here they come. Reinforce them with them. As you can see there, really important, didn't take any charge because they have got expert charge defense, so they're now done. We'll advance these guys, get these Thayans in, you can shoot him, and you guys can shoot the other archers. Bloody spellcasters. This is the thing with dwarves. Although their resistance is really, really strong to magic, they still get absolutely wiped the floor with when it comes to heavy spells. And we're just going to move up the army as well, because these guys should be able to fire whilst moving. I'm pretty sure they can. Yeah, fire whilst moving. Or they should be able to fire whilst moving. If I can get the leader, that would be great. Always try and kill the leader and wipe as many units as you can off the board. Because what this does is it allows you to get more gold, and I believe this might not be 100% accurate, but I'm pretty sure the more enemies you kill, the more likely of an item drop you can get. Now, I don't know if this is true again, but I found if I've absolutely wiped out an army, I'm more likely to get an item than you are if you don't. How that works out, I don't know. I haven't really looked into it, but I'm pretty sure 9 times out of 10, if you wipe out the army, then you're more likely to get an item drop. And we managed to escape that with no losses at all. Very little damage, which is excellent. And like I said, you're going to want to do this because you're going to want to fight these battles manually, because you're going to have, at the start of your game, you're going to have a lot of battles, and you don't want to get to a point where you have to fight a big battle and your army is completely wrecked. It comes back if I refer to one of my videos that I did when I first started in Warhammer 2, sorry. It's maintain a healthy army. Maintain a healthy army. Always make sure your armies are up for the task. Don't rush in. If you need replenishment, retreat a little. or set up an ambush. There are many ways of doing this, like recruiting lords, getting the AI to basically bulldoze through. And remember, don't expand too quickly, especially in Warhammer 3. The bigger you get, the more people notice you. The more the AI notices you, the more factions and armies he throws at you. And if you are playing in normal difficulty and stuff, uh, where you can let it run away from you, and you find like all of a sudden you've got uh, 8 peaks and the Black Crag and everything else, and then all of a sudden Scarbrand comes up, declares war on you. Then so do the rats, so do the Chaos Dwarfs, so do the vampires, and the bigger you expand, the more enemies you have. And obviously, depending on your diplomacy situation, you could even end up fighting Tomb Kings and the Lizard Men as well. So be really, really careful throughout the whole game of expanding, unless of course you're Scarbrand, in which case go absolutely nuts. Because if you do it well with Scarbrand, you can absolutely smash this game out in about 30 turns. But that again is like the exception for being on Scarbrand. He's literally designed to bulldoze his way through the Warhammer world, and I think they've done a good job in making that available to him. Obviously, nerfing him a little because we all love a good cheese, and to quote legend, they always like spoiling his fun, and in turn our fun. But coming back to Belegar, I think if you're gonna play dwarfs, army wise, he definitely want the strongest, because I mean he literally gets 4 heroes straight from the word go, making his army the strongest. Give Thorgrim Grudgebearer 4 heroes at the start, and you are absolutely laughing. Give Grombrindle 4 heroes at the start, and you would be laughing. Give Vorik 4 heroes at the start, and Scarbrand wouldn't stand a chance. But for, I'd say, campaign wise, believe it or not, Vorik Ironbrow probably has the best start out of all the dwarfs. Because if you're Thorgrim Grudgebearer, Low Carrick 8 Peaks is probably one of the best strongholds in the game to defend. Once you get big enough, everyone who sees you declares war. Like the vampires, the rats, legions of orcs, chaos dwarfs, Scarbrand, occasionally Tomb Kings if they find themselves hating you for some unknown reason. But all these factions, they notice you, and obviously as you try and develop allies with the rest of the dwarfs, they they tend to gun for you pretty quickly. I've had it in my campaign. I watched Legends Thorgrim Grudgebearer to see if he'd done anything differently with the Chaos Dwarfs, and to be brutally honest, he, like everyone else, you hit a wall. You get to the point where you become too well known, and people start declaring war on you. So definitely watch out for that. And this loading screen is taking forever. Apologies for the wait, guys. There is not a lot I can do about it. It's an old computer, and they just keep expanding Warhammer 3. And to be brutally honest with you, I have more important things. Don't get me wrong, if the channel blows up, then I'll buy a new computer straight away. But at the moment, there's not that many views, so I can't justify getting new parts or getting a new computer. just for the stream. Plus, I've missed you guys. I have not had a lot of time to stream. Hope I will be moving at the end of the month, so hopefully I'll be able to do this a lot sooner, and you will meet some people that are very, very dear to me, and fingers crossed, would like to have a game and a stream as well, so lots of positive things coming into the future. And of course, I'm hoping to do one video this week on the changes that have came, and is Neverwinter worth playing these days? Because I must admit, I haven't played it in ages, and I played it for an hour, and I asked myself this question: is this game really worth playing? And the answer might surprise you. But anyway, back to Belegar. Not much damage there. Hammerers, be very, very careful with these guys. If they get tied down, you will watch them die. They will just die. They do not do well. They are a really good supporter of heroes. And obviously, tabletop, if you're playing dwarfs, get yourself a unit of hammerers. They deal incredible amounts of damage. I've seen these guys wipe out pretty much everything. So well worth doing it, but when it comes to the game, make sure your hammerers are not getting isolated. It is very important to have them as more or less of a backup. Think of them like this. They literally do what they say on the tin. They are hammerers. They are very good at hitting once, but if you let them get isolated, they get torn to absolute pieces. And you have to, again, be really, really careful of that. Because nobody wants to see their best units get wiped out on the first 2 turns. That would be very, 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 very dramatic, and of course not fun at all. Here we go. So again, decisive victory, nice win there, not many casualties. We are going to take it this time. Now you guys can see why I auto-resolve most of my battles. Because it takes about 40 years to do it. So, gonna just get a couple of... 1 unit of shields, 1 unit of depth charges. I will show you why in a moment. And this will be why. They are very good siege attackers, well worth having in your army. And we are during intercept battles, fighting against Skaven. Definitely going to need that in a bit, but we'll, for now, little bit more experience and some leadership would not hurt our army. And we've got some Slayers, yay. With Belegar, watch this number. It will go to 0 very, very quickly. We don't need a Lord just yet, so we'll continue on to turn number 3. And another big thing you need to notice, obviously, is even though they drop very, very quickly, there's a hell of a lot more factions with Warhammer 3. As it goes to the end game crisis, I've turned them on. I usually play with them off because I've usually conquered most of the map by the time it happens, and they're not really that bad anyway. I think the worst one I had was I was playing dwarfs and I had a grudge too far come up, but I confederated everybody and I just literally obliterated these armies very, very quickly. So I was very lucky to be in my end game when they happened, and I was that strong. I just obliterated them. I had all my doom stacks ready. And yes, the Doom stacks still stand. They are still the same from Warhammer 2. Obviously, they're with the newer factions. They are a bit different, but as far as the old ones are concerned, they are pretty much still the same. I wouldn't change the dwarven armies from when how I set them up from Warhammer 2 from Warhammer 3. I played them pretty balanced in Warhammer 2 anyway, so there's no need for me to change the way I play in Warhammer 3 because, again, infantry's gotten better and I play balanced anyway, so it never really makes much difference. Good old shaker. But like I said, this is going to be a fairly short one. We're going to get to here and I will show you exactly what I mean. Because you can still beeline to 8 peaks if you want to. You just have to make a couple of stops first. Oh, they stayed there. Extra battle. Now, we're not going to be able to reach that if we chase him. I don't think we're going to reach that now anyway. Oh yes, we will. I mean, we would if for some reason he didn't get stuck. Why have we got stuck? Why are we stuck? Why are we stuck? It's because it... No. Oh, look at that. Oh, not quite. Okay, well that's fine. Steel technology. Let's give it a go. I don't think we managed to, but it's fine. Let's see if we can damage the walls. Never mind. Belegar increases missile and melee damage for all. Absolutely. And I'm gonna go with this one first. Well, we didn't get the damage to the walls, but it's okay. Moving on. Bingo. He's there. There's our target. Oh, ouch. This is where the two heroes could have come in handy. But to be fair, that's fine. I'm happy with that. I would not recommend auto-resolve in that battle there. You can win that quite easily, but for the sake of like a 15-minute loading screen, that's fine. Crushing defeat. We'll probably lose this one, but again, this has only happened because of the loading screen. As you can see, it's going to take 10 minutes to load, but where I'm going with this is take your 3 cities, beat the ogres, make your way across. You can either go to the forest and beat them, freeing up Vorgrim, or you can go to Black Crag and then Carrogate Peaks. But you can take and hold Black Crag very, very easily and then jump over to 8 Peaks. I would advise going round rather than straight to, so you don't get intercepted by Queek and then all the other orcs as well. Because it's after you fight the ogres, it's then a bit of a battle to keep your replenishment, and obviously you have to be aware of Queek because his ambushes are a pain in the ass. Note to self: no shields, no armour, gonna shoot them. Now the trick will be not losing the Feyen. Don't care if we lose the Slayers. Gonna hopefully get a couple of shots off. We might lose the Dwarf Warriors as well, but if we play it by ear, we should be able to get them to chase a little bit. They are going to be faster than us, but we should be okay. We should be okay. They're attacking us, which means we should be able to get a couple of volleys off. And they're pretty good fighters themselves, so they should be able to, if we send one in, they won't be obviously as good as the Savage Orcs, but they should be able to hold the line long enough for belegar to make the difference. But yeah, we need to be careful of the Runesmith and the Thayan. We don't want to lose those two. The rest of the top row is expendable. But that just goes to show another one of my rules that still stands: do not trust auto-resolve. It is not your friend. The Feyen's there. Oh, they're both the Feyen. The Runestones. Of course, the Runesmith was siege attacking. I forgot. Speed it up a little bit. Nice little shot off there. And then a rear charge by the Feyens. Get out of the way, lads. That might be helpful. And then we just take care of that orc whilst you guys shoot these guys. And there's the victory there. Nice. Nice work. And I see no reason to continue that. We'll take the win and we'll move on. And we managed to not lose any units, which is a bonus. And he got a kill. We actually got a kill. 1 kill. Let's take a look. How much damage did we get? 33,000 damage. Not bad. Not bad. Belegar, not bad damage at all. That's not bad. Depth charges, not bad. Not bad at all. At least 1 unit's worth their weight in gold. And of course, this will affect Belegar doing the siege now. We might have to back off a second, but you guys get the gist of it. Don't auto-resolve and you won't have this problem. You can just keep going all the way through. I've only auto-resolved to try and keep this video a little bit shorter when you're watching this later. I will do this again when I have a little bit more time, but it shouldn't be an issue. Next time we will answer, but for once, to answer your question, yes, you can still play the factions however you wish. No, you cannot play them the same way you do in Warhammer 2. The game is much more balanced. It's much more different at the same time. So it's the same in the start positions are the same. What you can expect is pretty much still the same. So take Thorgrim Grudgebearer for instance. He has a lot of enemies very, very early. There are a lot of factions that still play very, very similar, but the balance is very, very different now. Like, very, very different now. You have races that you have to plan for. So my advice to you guys in answering this question is plan your moves a little bit more than you would in Warhammer 2. In Warhammer 2 there was room for error. Warhammer 3, if you make a mistake, it could end up costing you big time, in a big way, and you will then be playing catch up in your campaigns, and trust me, you do not want to be playing catch up in your campaigns. You want to enjoy your campaign and have a steady increase, but my advice to you is yes, if you wish you can still beeline to 8 peaks. It is possible. You have to maybe do it a little bit slower than you normally would, or just be more careful. Use your heroes, scout your way forward, be a little bit more careful than you normally would in Warhammer 3. But to answer the question, yes, you can. You can still beeline to 8 peaks. So there are 2 ways of playing Belegar, as says in the title. You can sit, go beat up Queek, go beat up the ogres, and then go to 8 peaks, or you can do what everyone else used to do and just beeline to 8 peaks. It's not a problem. Just be careful and try not to hit auto-resolve like I have. This is the coincidence of it. Now you've seen it, you know not to do it, and again, the only reason I have done this is to A, show you guys what happens if you auto-resolve all your battles, and B, to try and make the video a little bit shorter. So there's your answer, guys. You can still beat like these little armies with not a lot. Just be very, very careful. Make sure you're replenishing your armies when you can, and again, use your heroes to maybe scout forward, or even the Lord. Recruit a Lord, move him forward a bit, sit Belegar up, sit him in ambush, trick the AI a little. Happy days. That is the new tactic for, I would say, playing Belegar. And if you've made it this far, give yourselves a round of applause, because you're awesome and we love you. And obviously this video is still going on for a very long time, and we've only hit through it. We've only managed to get to turn 3. But again, I do apologise for the loading screens. You can probably just speed these up a little bit. But obviously the points, make sure you're getting the points in there as well, guys. So to answer your question, yes, just be careful and do it a little bit slower. Make sure you take care of the ogres before going over to 8 peaks, is my advice. But you don't have to take it if you don't want to. Let me know in the comments down below, guys, what you think. I have been Viking Nez. You guys have been awesome. And as always, guys, I love you. Gonna have to leave you. But we will be back very, very soon. See you then, guys. Have a good one. Cue the outro, if I can find it. Have a good one, guys.